Whew. Hey, oh man. So, good evening, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. It is a Friday. And if you don't know anything else on this Friday, know that you deserve to be blessed. Tonight, I decided to go live. I had a topic that I wanted to talk about. I had a topic that I wanted to discuss. I had a topic that had been weighing heavy on um, my mind and my spirit for some time. And and I felt like I wanted to discuss it. I felt like I wanted to say a little something and go ahead and speak on it. So I'm going to give a couple of people time to get in, um, so that they can, hear my topic and maybe discuss. And you have any questions. So if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you got me through the smoke signal, however you got me, go ahead, thumbs up, hit that heart, hit that notification or that follow, and either just wave at me and let me know that you're in. And I will be so glad to know that you came in to check me out and see what's what. So tonight's topic is going to be a little heavy for me. So, with that being said, I felt like I needed to do a little something to do that. So, I'm going to fix me a little something real quick. And then once I fix that, then I'll go ahead and get started. That'll also give some people some time to get in. Once again, I am Titan Capri. Most of you already know me. Most of you probably have already dealt with me, seen me, any type of thing like that. So, you already know. So, um, I wanted to do that. However, I did want to set up my drink though. I did want to go ahead and get that up. So tonight, because my topic is um, a heavy one, I felt like I needed a heavy drink. You see my drink? Look what it says. Hashtag T2P. Look, let's see. I think it needs a little something. I think it needs a little something. All right, y'all. So everybody's getting in, and I appreciate you for tuning in. I wanted to talk about some things. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I think that's gonna work. Y'all tell me if I'm going too far. Tell me if I'm doing too much. Let me know, right? I know, right? So Eric just said it. So y'all, here's the thing. Here's another thing. I'm on live tonight, but my birthday is actually Tuesday, the 19th, March the 19th. Now, I'm not begging for nothing, but if you would like to send me a donation or a little gift of gift, you know, uh, Cash App, Titan Capri. All right, y'all. All right. So I think enough people have come in. I appreciate you for tuning in. Like I said, if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you can feel me, go ahead and wave at me, talk to me throughout the video. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, please go ahead and put them in. I'll try to answer them. If not, then I'll do another video later on to kind of go ahead and answer those questions and go forward. So tonight, my topic is black, gay, and positive. Um, Here recently, I had something happen to me. Well, not to me, but well, I guess I can say to me, like around me. And I realized that there was a lot of things that I have been hiding behind, not coming forward with, not talking about. And because I felt like it didn't affect me in a sense, but in reality it did. And so I'm not understanding. Hold on one second. Let me see. It looks like people are trying to get in, but all right, all right, all right. So if you all can hear me, because I think somebody said they couldn't, see me. It's something that's not letting me in. So let me know if you can get in. Like I said, go ahead, hit that thumbs up and go forward. All right. So what happened was I was in a place. I'm not going to say where it was or anything like that, but I was in a place and there were questions and comments happening all around me. And it basically made me feel some kind of way. All right. So, like I said before, my birthday is on the 19th. I'm not going to plug my Cash App, Titan Capri. I'm not going to plug it, But so my birthday is on the 19th. And on the 19th, I will be turning 48 years old. And I've been living my life, not pretending, but just being who I am and keeping what's going on with me here. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it here. And I think in this day and age, in this time in my life, I think that I have come to a place where I'm okay with speaking on it. I'm okay with talking about it. I'm okay with letting it go and letting it be out there. For so long, I've hidden the fact that I could not stand in my own truth. I could not stand in the fact that I am who I am. You unable to like it, you said? I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. But I tell you what, I will post it on other social media after I finish. So hopefully we can continue the conversation and go forward. So let me just start real quick again. So basically, the fact that I am a black gay man and the fact that I never really said that out loud, I've never actually said it to anyone, although I have done things in my life. I have performed at clubs. I have talked to guys and girls. I have been around. I got all kind of friends. I got, you know, I lived the life, but what I found out was that I was living more than one life. You know what I'm saying? I was living um, um, three lives, five lives, things like that. And what I found out was that I couldn't survive living all those lives. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody out there, but sometimes, the old saying is true. When you play the fool, everybody plays the fool sometimes, you know what I mean? And I found out that I had been playing the fool for quite a long time. I had been playing the fool so good and so long that I I started to believe that this is where I was and this is what I was doing, right? And so it's crazy because I found out that in my latter age, you know what I'm saying? When they say things become clear. And sometimes you don't get that. So here's my thing. I don't think I ever truly hid, but I never voiced. I never voiced the fact that I was black and I was gay. You know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't have to voice the black part because you can see that. You can see that. But you didn't know about the gay. And if you did, you did. And that's fine. And I have no problem with that. But it wasn't something that I did. I found myself in a lot of situations being in the back. I found myself not voicing, you know what I'm saying? I found myself watching things happen to people because I didn't want anybody to know that about me, right? And I grew up in a society, in a community, a black community where being gay was wrong. Being gay was bad. Being gay, you could go outside and kill somebody, beat somebody up, rob, steal, do all that good stuff. You were still better than me if I was gay. You understand what I'm saying? So it took a lot of me trying to suppress that. I always felt I was different. Matter of fact, let me change that. I always knew that I was different. I always knew that I was not who everybody said I was. Does that, and then that makes sense. And I tried for so many years to keep it where it was and not let it go and keep it dear and near to my heart and protect it at all costs. I didn't go certain places. I didn't do certain things. I didn't talk to certain people because of the fact that it was always a chance or a possibility that this would get out. Now, a lot of people say to me, oh, well, Titan, we already knew you were gay. And that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. But knowing that somebody is gay, or having an inkling that somebody is gay, or figuring out that somebody is gay, is not like somebody being gay in here and in here, right? It's not like that. And so I found myself telling someone the other day that you can't put a price on my gayness. You can't put a price on me being a man standing here but being a gay man. You can't put a price on that. And you can tell me how I'm supposed to act and how I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do, but the reality of it is that I have to decide that. I have to decide that this is what it is for me. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of things play a part in that. And a big thing is society. When you want to express yourself, you want to be who you are, and you can't, because it's always robbers, killers, thieves, cheaters, I don't know, divorce, all this stuff. And then down here, look, you can't even see it. It's gay. Anything to do with the LGBT community and so forth and so, you're at the bottom. And it's always been like that. Now, some of you may say, well, Titan, how is that possible? Because you were out doing shows, you were doing pageants, you were traveling here and there, you were living with a guy at one point. Yes, I was doing all that. But do you know that was all before it was video cameras and all this other kind of stuff like that? And I'm not saying I would have hid, but I'm just saying that, and I look back on a lot of things that I did back then, and I feel bad. I feel bad because I felt like I was doing myself a disservice. You know what I'm saying? There were many a times that I wanted to speak and say and love who I love and be who I am and just do that, and it just was no place for me. Then fast forward, childhood was crazy. People always were bullying. I never got bullied because I did this or I did that. I got bullied because I was different. I was different. And I didn't understand that back then. I thought I was just like everybody else. I thought everybody else was doing the same thing that I was doing. I thought that everybody understood what I was going through, right? And for some reason, I thought I was the only one. I felt like I was out on an island all by myself, because everybody in my neighborhood and people around me, nobody was gay. Nobody felt the way that I felt. Because if they did, they wouldn't have been bullying me like that. That's what my thinking was back then. So I fast forward. I'm going to make a man out of myself because that's what everybody's telling me that I should do. That's what everybody's saying that how I should be. I need to be a man about it. I need to be a man about it. So then I enlisted in the military. I did 8 years in the military. I'm not going to say that I didn't have, my time was not well spent. My time wasn't something that opened my eyes and helped me. I'm not going to say that part. What I am going to say is that if I could have been who I was, I probably would have never went into the military. I probably would have been out here, traveling the world and doing what I feel and loving what I love, right? But I do believe that everything happens for a reason. I do believe that you go through things for a reason. And me going into the military and traveling and doing all that I did, that was for a reason. But in the military, it was the same thing. I always had people wanting to put me down and challenge me as a man and challenge me as who I was because I was gay. But I was bad as just the rest of them. Lord knows I'm not bragging. Lord knows I'm not bragging. But I could pull a girl, I could pull a guy, I could do so much. I was being invited here, being invited there. I was being propositioned here, being propositioned there, but that was not my thing. And most of the time I'm sitting here wondering, why? Why me? Why me? Like, why am I here? Why was this cross put on me? And I'm going to speak a little bit about the church as well, because this is kind of like where it all started. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to show you the pic of me and the BDUs. I don't think I have it on me right now, but I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I really did not understand how you could, in one point, talk about me, treat me like this, and in the other side, you wanted to be around me, cuddle up on me, hold on me, kiss on me, and all this stuff like that. But we couldn't do anything else. We couldn't be anywhere else. We had to be discreet. We had to be in the back. We had to do this. And then you feel some kind of way because you've never been in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? You've never been in the forefront. And you sometimes wonder, like, if you were to think back, like I had to do, and just ask myself, like, what would have been different if I would have done this? What would have happened? You know what I mean? I was called so many things other than my name. I was done so many ways other than how I perceive myself to be. So, in a sense, Titan Capri was born out of that. In a sense, I had had enough of hiding. I had enough of being in the back. I had enough of not being able to express myself the way that I wanted to. I had so much talent, is what everyone told me. You know what I'm saying? I had so much that I could offer. So what was I doing? But I had been told all my life, shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you watch The Color Purple, and on The Color Purple, she said, have you ever wanted to sing and have it beat out you? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like I wanted to express myself. Now, I didn't want to do, because some people say, oh, well, you wanted to get out there and prance and prance. No, no, no. But I did want to express myself. I did want to be who I was. I wanted to stand in the fact that I was who I was. I was still a man. I was still a man. And the crazy part is I'm sitting here talking to you all, and I'm trying not to drop any tears, but last year and this year alone, I have spoke on this more than I've ever spoke on this in my life. What does that say about you? What does that say about the life that you live when you can never be yourself? When you can never be who you were made to be? When you can never be the blessing that was put on this earth? When you can never be that? But let me tell you this, though. I want to say this because I want people to understand. I had some things happen to me in my life, but I never stopped being a blessing. I never stopped being a blessing. I always made sure that I stayed that blessing. You know what I'm saying? And so it was something in me that wanted me to keep going, that wanted me to make sure that I was doing what I needed to do. But was it hard? Yes. Was it crazy? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get off track, but I do want to say this. I had a couple of key things happen to me in my life that almost ruined me, in a sense, almost made me feel some kind of way, almost made me feel like this is what I deserve. So from the beginning, I've always been told that gay was bad. Let me rephrase. Punk, sissy, faggot, mama's boy, bitch ass, this, all this other stuff. I always been told that that was bad, that that's what I was. I was built like my mother, right? I'm 6'1" and built like my mother. You know what I'm saying? And people always blamed me because I wasn't the boy, but you couldn't mess with me like that, though. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't the man's man, but we could scrap at any given time. All you had to do was say my mama, and it was on and popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's me growing up. I had to always fight. I had to fight going to school. I had to fight coming back from school. You know what I'm saying? I had to do all of that. And again, tonight is not my pity party. Tonight is me releasing all of what I've been holding on, all of what I've been holding on to for so long. And I wanted to do that in this form because I felt like I needed to get it off my chest. And I do the thought to ponder all the time. And I speak on all type of topics. But if you ever notice, go back to any of my thought to ponders. I don't speak on anything remotely gay, lesbian, transgender, anything like that. And I wonder, why was that? Why was that? And I realized that I was a coward in so many ways because I felt that, and y'all, I'm not beating myself up. I'm just speaking truthfully, okay? Truthfully. I felt that I was a coward in so many ways because there was so many people that I probably could have helped. There were so many things that I probably could have done, but that's a coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now I'm at the point in my life to where I can stand in it and truly, truly understand where I'm at. Before I couldn't understand. Before I couldn't go there. I had a lot of crap going on in my life. I was always called a mama's boy. I was always this little sissy, this little punk, this little faggot. And when somebody violates you, and the main reason they said they violated you was because of your gayness and because you were flirting with them and walking past them and doing all of this kind of stuff like that. When you've been told all your life, your young life, up until the time that this happened to me, that it's wrong, that it's against God, that it's not right, you start to believe that this is what was supposed to happen to you. Because this is what happened to you because you are gay, because you're different, because you're not right. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to understand that I was not the reason. It took me a long time to understand that they were sick. They had issues, they had problems, they had all this stuff going on. I internalized so much and I beat myself up all the time to the point that I took myself away from people, to the point to where I could not stand in a circle. I could not be around certain people because of the fact that I was the very thing that was against God, that was against the Bible. And you know, your people tell you, your family, your friends, they tell you, oh, you're good, you're all right, but you're going to go to hell. Wait, what? But wait a minute, but I'm the one that just helped you. I'm the one that just gave you the spiritual blessing. I'm the one that just made sure that you were good. But I'm going to hell because I can't help who I am? And oh, you can help it. That's a choice. No, ma'am. No, sir. I want to say to anybody that may think it, anybody that may feel it, I don't believe it was a choice because there is no choice in this. I have always felt like this. Always. And I had to argue and fight to make you even want to believe that this is who I am. You can pray the gay away. You can go here and go there and get the gay taken care of. You can do all this here. Let me tell y'all something. My gay ain't never went nowhere. It ain't never went nowhere. It's always been there. I tried to be the man. I tried to be the man they wanted me to be. Let me rephrase it because I'm a man. No doubt about it, through and through. And not just because it's biologically so. I'm a man because that's what I feel like. I'm a man because that's what my spirit is. I'm a man because I'm a man. That doesn't change anything. But I am a gay man though. I can't sit here and pretend with you anymore. I can't play the game. I can't do that. I was talking with my daughter's mother and I told her, I can't play the game years ago. I can't play the game anymore. I can't sit here and pretend. You don't understand how it hurts me every day that I can't be who I am. I have to be somebody else. I had to be. And some of you out there listening to me right now might say, no, Aaron, you don't have to be. No, but I had to be. I had to be. I couldn't be. Although I could play with the best of them, I could play football, basketball, I could run track with the best of them. In the military, we had hand-to-hand combat. I was in with the best of them, but I still was never their equal. Why? Because I was gay, and I never wanted to admit it. So at a young age, I learned that the grace of God, according to man, picks and chooses. I learned that I am doing everything just like everybody else. But because my mannerisms may be a little different, because I might not be this, I was going to hell. I was doing what the devil had put on this earth for me to do. In church, the pastor and the deacons were told to talk to me. I was around 11, maybe 12. The only thing that they could tell me was to stop doing what I'm doing. I had been in the choir. I was on the young deacons board. I was in the church. I was doing Sunday school. I was doing vacation Bible school. I thought I was doing what the Lord wanted me to do. I thought I was being a blessing. That's what it was all about. I thought I was loving. But because of my mannerisms, they were told to talk to me, get me straight. The pastor and two of the deacons, mind you, I'm not even 12 yet, pulled me in and basically talked to me as if I was something other than a child of God. The pastor and the deacons. Could you imagine a child believing that God loves him just like he loves everybody else, being told that that's not the case in point, being told that that's never going to be the case in point, being told that you're going to burn in hell? I love you too, lady. Being told that you are not welcome. That does something to a child. That does something. Then when you get home, you start asking questions. Why? What happened? But I thought God loved everybody. God does love everybody, but that's the way it was. But you can't do this, or you can't do that. But I was just being who I was. I was just being me. Then around the age of 12, a man of 55 cornered me in my grandmother's kitchen and touched me inappropriately. When I told what happened, I believed, because that's the only way it came across, they didn't believe me at all. They didn't believe me at all. I was wrong. They took me in front of the very person that had touched me inappropriately. And basically he said, I didn't touch him. Now here's the kicker about that. I said to myself, that can't be. This is my family. They're going to protect me. They're going to make sure that I'm good. Not the case in point. I look back on it now and I understand the stigma of sexual assault and the trauma, and I understand it and I get it. How can you be there for me when nobody was there for you? So I get it. I understand it now. But again, for a young boy, how does that work? I've never told anybody about me starting to work at the age of 14, about 13, 14, mowing grass, doing yards, cleaning out gutters and stuff like that. And the person that I was working with was always real friendly. And I'm not saying that that is a wrong thing. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on a second. Hold on. Well, one more. Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So, things were cool. Then all of a sudden, things changed. He started to look at me differently. He would want to hold the ladder. He would want to make sure that I was okay. He would want to do all this stuff like that. And so I, I didn't know what that was. I'm not going to go into all the details, but how it started was he wanted to hold the ladder for me one time when I was cleaning out the gutters. I almost fell, and his hand went up my thigh. Not my outside thigh, my inner thigh. It felt weird. It felt crazy, but I was trying to make some money for the summer and all that kind of stuff like that. And I watched a show um, about sexual harassment, sexual assault, and trauma. And in the show that I was watching, I realized at the age of 14 that I had been assaulted long before anything had ever happened. You know what I mean? Anything had ever happened. And I, Lord, I, I trusted him. I trusted him. I trusted him with my innocence. I trusted him with the fact that this is something that wouldn't happen or not going to happen. It's funny because I remember how the first time the grabbing of me, how it felt wrong, how it felt different, it felt nasty. I'm not going to go into details, but he was not right. I was 14. He was 30 something. I was 14 and he was 30 something. He said because I was always prancing back and forth in front of him. That was his reasoning for what he did to me, because I was prancing back and forth in front of him. He was married with kids. When I think back on it, I wondered to myself so many times, what could I have done differently? What could I have done differently? Should I have told my mother? Should I have said something to somebody? But he told me if I did, he would kill them. And at that time, you don't think nothing like that. You don't think that they wouldn't stick to their word. Hmm. I grew up, I left Houston, I moved to Hallettsville, and again, I still was ridiculed because I wasn't a man's man. I still tried to have girlfriends. I still had girlfriends. I still, tried to be and do this, and so forth and so on, because I just felt like it's not me. I don't want to go to hell. So I got to do this. I got to. I got to be right. So I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to die because I'm going against the Bible. I don't want to do that. These things that happened made me alter my journey in life. Now, some of us may sit and argue that that's my journey and that's something that probably could have happened, with anybody. And I get it. But those things that happened then caused me to alter my life in such a way that I don't even know if I would have went the other way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that would have held for me. I don't know what it would have been. I graduate from Hallettsville High School. I go into the military. I come out of the military and I meet up with him. And I wanted him to know what it was that he did. I wanted him to understand what it was that he did. As we are talking, and I'm telling him how I felt and what happened, his logic was, I wanted it. That was his logic. And then what got me was, he asked me about another young guy in the neighborhood. And he said he thinks that they are ripe and ready. And they couldn't have been no more than 16, 17 years old. I don't know if y'all understand it, but I wanted to slit his throat. I wanted to cut him from ear to ear. I told him, if you go anywhere near anybody, any of them, I'm going to sing like a bird. And then I thought about it. Maybe I should have sung like a bird. Because now you know, when you think about pedophilia, when you think about pedophiles, when you think about serial killers, you let them go and then they probably do it to somebody else. There's a lot that changed in my life when that happened. I never told anybody. Never said nothing. Never did any of that. You good, Eric. Go ahead and ask the question and I'll try to get to it if I can. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit to 2005. Well, let me say this. Being black is one thing. I can't hide my skin color. It is what it is. I make no apologies for it. I was born this way, and that's the same way I feel about being gay. I was born this way. I can't make any apologies about it because I believe it's deep down in my soul and in my spirit, and that's what it is, right? So there's no reason for me to make excuses or even try to explain to somebody that don't understand where I'm coming from. For so many years, I beat myself up because everything that I felt that I had in me was against God. That's what I was told. I beat myself up because these men touched me, assaulted me, and it was my fault. I beat myself up because I never said anything. I beat myself up because I kept that secret. I kept that horrible secret forever because I was told that people were going to look at me. They were going to talk about me. They were going to say how bad I was. And I'm a dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. So ain't no man gonna treat me like that. Ain't no man gonna put me in a closet and lock me in. You know what I mean? Ain't no man gonna do that. But the reality of it is, he didn't put me in a physical closet. He put me in a mental and spiritual one. He put me in a place to where I could not just him, but the pastor and the deacons and anybody else that had ever ridiculed me or said that I was wrong for feeling the way that I felt, because that's what had been inside me for I don't know how long, since I can remember. I had people say things like, oh, you knew? You knew, so you played me? You know, things like that. And that's not what it was. That's not what it was at all. So fast forward to 2005. I'm out, I'm living, I'm doing, I'm having fun, I'm living life. I'm trying to take the stigma off of me for being gay. I finally got a little freedom and I thought that I was doing good and so forth and so on. And May 5th, 2005, 14 years ago in May, I was diagnosed with AIDS. I say AIDS because back then it wasn't an HIV. It was AIDS. I got sick and I stayed in the hospital for almost 2 months. I had pneumonia, really, really bad. The doctor just came in and said, you have AIDS. And literally walked out. It's been 14 years, and I said I wasn't gonna cry. And still to this day, me even saying it's hard, because this is something that I've kept, I've held on tight to, I've guarded all my life to make sure that nobody had any ammunition, anything to hold against me, to hold me back. I stopped having relationships. I stopped dealing with people. I stopped being around people. And I think back, a lot of people asked me, why? Why, Titan? Why you don't want to be around me? Why you don't like me? Why is it that you're like this? I didn't think it was anything wrong. I didn't. But I was fighting a battle. I was fighting a battle. They told me that I had AIDS. They told me that I had 4 T cells. 4. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that meant. I take that back. I did know what it meant. I know what it meant. It meant death. That's what it meant. I had never heard of that. Out of everybody that I had seen in my performing days and the times that I did this and I did that, everybody had been dropping like flies. And I felt I was invincible because I had took all the precautions. But I got with somebody and they took advantage of the fact that I was green and that I didn't know. So while I was in the hospital, I'm not even, I'm going to say this. I didn't think people would treat you like that. I didn't think people would manipulate you like that. This person literally used me and knew what they were doing. They were slipping me drugs. And I'm always so careful. You can ask any of my friends now, anybody that knows me, they know I don't touch drugs. I don't go nowhere near them. I don't play with them because of what happened back then. A lot of people in the gay community who I used to perform with, who I was in the family with, who I was around, they thought I was being funny. When I first got diagnosed, I lied about how I became infected because I didn't want anybody to think. I thought I was on top of it. You know what I'm saying? I thought, ain't nobody gonna touch me because I'm always on top of it. I'm out here with friends, and these people were not my friends. So long story short, we had been having sex and not using protection. But I thought we were using protection until I woke up one day not knowing where I was. Here I am laying in this hospital bed, dying, because I've lost like 60 pounds in like 3 to 4 months. I'm black, like this shirt, ashy, bones aching, look like I'm death. Because I trusted someone. There's no feeling or no explanation I can give you on what it feels like when a doctor tells you that you're dying. Now, mind you, he said you have AIDS. And that day and time, you were dying. I remember the ride home. What do I do? It was so quiet on the ride home. You know, you could hear the wind through the car doors. It was that quiet. And I didn't want to go to the hospital. So I went home. Again, the stigma. I went home. I was taken back to the hospital because I couldn't hold anything down. I was throwing up everything. My body wasn't functioning correctly because I only had 4 T cells. I woke up in the hospital, tubes coming all out of me. I couldn't digest anything. They had to put a central in my chest. They had to give me TP bags. A lot of you may not know what that is, but it's like vitamins and minerals. It looks like milky sugar. And all I could remember while all this was going on, while all this was happening, that he stood in front of me and basically said to me, yeah, like it was nothing. Like my life meant nothing to him. So I beat myself up because come to find out, he had been doing this for some time. Come to find out, that wasn't the first time that he had slipped me something and I didn't know. I'm laying in the bed dying. All right, y'all. All right. So I'm laying in the bed dying. I only have 4 T cells. The doctor says, well, I'm glad that you got him in here when you did, because he was on his way out the door. We can nurse him back to health. It's going to take a while, but we can nurse him back to health. I started having seizures. My body contorted, my face contorted. All I can remember is begging God to take me. I had no reason to live. I had nothing to go home to. I had nothing to this wasn't supposed to happen to me. I was always so safe. I was always so protected. But the mere fact that he stood in my face and said to me, so I felt like I was better off dead. So I begged, and I begged to die. I prayed to die. I prayed to leave this earth. I prayed to not have to come back and face anybody about anything that's going on. I prayed if it was against God, then let it be against God, and go ahead and give me my sentence and let me go. And let me go. Let me say this. I'm sitting here telling you all this story, and I'm weeping and I'm crying, because this is something that I've held next to me for the last 13, we're going on 14 years. I've altered my life because of it. And even now you say, oh, well, the stigma is not what it used to be, and no things about, no. This was something I was going to take to my grave. But this is something that I had to understand. In that begging, in that asking for me to die, in that moment, in that time, it was completely dark. It's like I was yelling out into the darkness. I'm going to be a little spiritual right now. I was yelling out in the darkness. And I kept asking, I kept begging to die. Out of the darkness, the only thing that I saw was this. That's all I saw. Spiritually, that's the only thing I can say. Spiritually, I heard the words, no, you're not done yet. What kind of life would I lead? What would I do? Right? I'm a leper now. I can never be intimate with anybody. I could never touch anybody. I could never do anything. I'm never going to travel the world and see and take photos. You know I love taking photos. You know I love taking pictures. But that hand and that spiritual voice told me that I wasn't done yet. In that moment, I woke up. And when I woke up, the doctor was at the edge of my bed. He patted me on the foot and he said, "You're going to be okay." And he walked out. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 14 years later, I'm still here. I'm still doing. I'm still a child of God. I'm still that person. I'm still somebody who's worthy. It took me this long in my life to finally stand up for me. It took me this long in my life to let somebody know this is where I'm at. It took me this long to be comfortable in where I'm at. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. My spirit told me I had to tell my story today. My spirit told me I had to speak on it. Coming up on my 48th birthday, that I had to talk about it. If there's anything that I can say to anybody dealing with stigma, dealing with hurt, dealing with trauma, dealing with any of those things, I can say this. Be you. Be you. Don't never let nobody tell you you're not worthy. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you're not capable. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you are not blessed, because you are. It took me a long time to stand in this truth that I'm standing in now. It took me a long time to understand that I'm not going to hell for just being me. It took me a long time to understand that AIDS at that time did not define me. But I am a black, gay, and positive man. If there's anything else I can say, is live. Live. Don't stop living. Protect yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, but live. I wasted a lot of time not living because I thought my life was not worth living. I spent a lot of time during that time when I'm in the hospital and I had the tubes coming out of me, even when I came home and I had a bag on my side. I spent a lot of time begging just to go. Just to go. I don't, I don't know if you all know or if you understand how hard it is for somebody to stand up in front of you. And even when they're being truthful, it's still hard. It's a daily battle. There have been times that my life has been topsy-turvy and crazy. I take medication every day. Although I've been undetectable for the last 11, 12 years, there still are times that you have to battle with things. You still have to do things. You still wonder, is anybody really truly going to accept who you are or like you for you once they find out? P, I'm going to post it to my page once I'm done, and you'll be able to catch it that way. Sorry about that, lady. But yeah, so I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. Um, Peace and blessings to you. I'm not telling you that your time is not now. I'm not telling you that your time is not 10 years from now. What I am saying is that if you're able to walk in what your truth is and be who you are to the best of your ability, then you do that. I don't think I wasted my life. I don't think I wasted my time because I came in contact with people and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And do and I did what I think I was put on this earth to do. And I really feel like I was put on this earth to bring peace and blessings. And I have been trying to do that since I can remember. I just couldn't go into my birthday. I couldn't go into my 48th year not being in my truth. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, I'm open to them. I I this is new to me. I I became um I started working with Ian Haddock on a documentary called Outcry. I'll put it in comments once I post a video. And this kind of got the ball to really rolling. I started back in 2017 when I left the job that I had been on for 11 years. And I knew something was up. I knew something was different. I knew that I needed a change. I knew that I had to get out and do me and be me. A year down the road, I run back into Ian, and Ian had this idea. The only thing that really got me with this when this all started, I tried to I tried to regulate what came out of the box. I tried to regulate what came out of the box. And if you know anything about opening a box, it's hard for you to regulate what comes out once the box is fully open. And that's what happened with me. The box became fully open, and all my emotions and problems and issues and things that I had been trying to hide for so long just bubbled up to the top and overflowed, and I couldn't do anything with it. I don't blame Ian at all. Matter of fact, I thank him for allowing me to be a part of the documentary, Outcry, and then also for him standing by me and speaking my truth and letting me be transparent with my truth and always being supportive about my truth. Thank you. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm sure. I mean, I have uh, um, a longer journey to go, but a good journey. I feel good. I feel that the weight has been lifted, right? And I feel that anything else that comes my way, I'll be able to deal with and go forward and be able to have it. And I just want to thank you all for loving me. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for being there for me when I needed someone. I want to thank you for allowing me to be in your space and in your spirit and in your place and just expressing myself. I want to give a shout out to my cousins that have been loving me through this, my best friends, my Judys, anybody that has been doing anything to make sure that I have been good, that my spirit is good, that my soul is good. I want to thank you. Because without you, without a lot of you that are listening to me right now, a lot of you that are talking to me right now, a lot of you that are getting comments, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it. Yeah. So peace and blessings to you. I'm not done yet, y'all. No, I'm about to end this live because I've been going on for about an hour there, but I'm not done yet. I got so much more that I want to say, that I want to do, so much more that I've been holding on to because I just felt like I couldn't express myself the way that I wanted to. I got so much more life. But I want to thank you for allowing me this time and this space and allowing me to express myself and be who I am. And for allowing me to always stand up and be just who I was, just who I am, and just who I'm going to be. Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings. If you don't know anything else while you've just listened to what I had to say, or you just tuned in or anything like that, know that there was no other reason that you were put on this earth other than to be blessed and to be a blessing. Thank you all. If you have any questions or any concerns, any comments, anything that you want to let me know, please put it down in the comments. You can contact me on Titan Capri. I'm on all social media, Titan Capri. You can leave me messages. You can do whatever you want to do. Send me smoke signals and all of that good stuff. You do that, I would appreciate it. And my birthday is on Tuesday. So if you feel like you want to holler at me, send me a little something, just be nice for any kind of reason, then you go ahead and do that. On Tuesday, I will be 48. 48. Indeed. All right, y'all. Love you. Peace and blessings to you. And thank you so much.